Penelope Ford returns to the ring. She hits a handspring cutter for a near fall. She goes for a moonsault. However, Shida rolls away. Shida then hits 2 running knees and a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. I genuinely still cannot believe she kicked out of that.
No.
And Shida did a fantastic job in selling the shock of that kick out. Shida then hits just 1 more running knee for the win. This was just another level. This is another. Do you know what? For me, probably my favourite match of the women's division in AEW so far.
Yeah, I can only think of Shida, Nyla Rose. Riho, Nyla Rose was good. Shida, Britt Baker. But no, I think
this takes it.
Yeah, I think for me it does as well. I just, with Kit being removed from ringside from the start, I thought that was a really good idea. Because there's always that element of him on the side that, could grab Shida's leg as she's going for the ropes, as she's bouncing off the ropes. If she's going for a pin, him standing on the apron. But it really felt like by having him removed from the start, helped Ford feel more credible. And there were moments where Ford, she was hitting some hella impact moves, and I'm thinking she's not going to win, is she? And when there's a match like this, we say this a lot, that we think we're 99.9% sure that we know who's going to win. Yet there's still that part of us that when we watch the match, we think the person who we think's got a 0.01% chance of winning has a near fall that we buy into. It's just an absolute testament to how well they've portrayed the match. And I think this was really good. These two have got really good chemistry together.
It's there have been fears. Some people have mentioned fears that Penelope Ford is green. I'm not saying that this completely wipes out any of those rumors. However, this is a massive step forward, and it completely shows, do you know what? She can hang with these people, with these stars like Shida. So, Matt, this was just amazing. It wasn't, it didn't go as long, it didn't feel like it went as long as Shida and Nyla. However, I think in terms of action, this took the biscuit, definitely.
Well, I worked out in total, I think it was just over 10 minutes. So they crammed an awful lot of action into just over 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I know we complain often about, well, particularly in more so NXT's case than AEW's, that they don't give enough time. However, if you really, really, put your mind to it, you can fit in a hell of a lot in 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
And that is what they did in this.
Well, if you look at Nick Jackson v. Rey Fenix from Dynamite months ago, that match was just over 10 minutes, and it had everything. So it's about how you tell the story of the match. And in some ways, maybe a shorter match was better for this, but better for these two, because you can fit more, obviously, into a longer match. But if it's going to go 15 to 20 minutes, there's bound to be some sort of rest holds. Whereas it felt like this was kept at pretty much the same pace throughout, which really helped it fly by for me and find it really entertaining.
I was enthralled. It was fantastic. And it's this women's division, we were so skeptical about it early on because the booking was just not there. And you need that solid in-ring aspect, and I feel like they've completely mastered that now, where you could stick any of the women in this division at the moment in the ring and they will put on a decent match. Penelope Ford would have been one of the ones that I was not like, I wouldn't have said she was one of the most talented wrestlers in the roster. Now I'm completely eating my words, because she's just proved that. She's insanely athletic, and I'm sure in possibly months to come you could have her at the top of the division. Definitely years to come. So
absolutely.
This was breakthrough for her.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at it that we have to think about, would she have got this opportunity had the injuries to Statlander and Britt Baker not happened?
Well, probably not.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, obviously, it's unfortunate for those two, but if this was what it took to show, in particular, probably the guys behind the scenes and the audience, how good Penelope Ford is, then there is a positive coming out of those two horrible injuries that happened. Knowing that in the absence of two of your biggest stars in the women's division, there's someone who was maybe considered on a lower peg that can absolutely rise to the occasion if she needs to.